Louisiana All-American Sports Show. 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 Louisiana. If the sports you wanna talk about, then listen to the hottest show that's coming out the South. It's Eric Hatfield and Coach Perry Daniels, man. They're gonna sit you down and tell you all about the game and make it plain. 96.9 FM, that's the station to hear the best sports talk show in the nation. Without hesitation, you should get with this and get your popcorn ready for you better not miss. Louisiana All-American Sports Show. Louisiana All-American Sports Show. Louisiana All-American Sports Show. Louisiana. It's Joker B. Check this out.
Our Louisiana All-American Sports Game of the Week was Bel Air High School hosting Broadmoor High School. Our player of the game from that evening was Eric Matthews. He was our guest in studio. We have lost a significant portion of that audio. However, these are some comments that we had from young Mr. Matthews from the night before, and also Eric joined us as a guest host for the remainder of our show, which we were able to salvage and record and present to you. So without further ado, here is the star of our show that day, Mr. Eric Matthews.
We did get a word from Coach Moore and from Eric Matthews. I thought it'd be worth our audience here real quick. This is what they had to say. All right, Eric Hatfield here with Eric Matthews, our Louisiana All-American Sports Player of the Game. Eric, outstanding game tonight. Really, you and your teammates did very well, but you were running the court very aggressively. Really helped be the straw that stirred the drink along with some of your teammates. Talk about your game tonight.
I really just tried to play hard for my team and get them open looks, open passes, and just pick up the aggression like Coach asked me to, and just tried to make it better for everybody.
We at Louisiana All-American Sports, we've been covering Bel Air for about 3 years now, and while we've seen them win some games, it seems like you're a new addition to the team, and it seems like with you on the floor, they move up and down the court a lot faster. Do you think that's you? Is that something you're practicing differently? Is it coach? Talk about that, please.
Well, we work on it a lot in practice, and we try to play outside of practice together a lot so we can just gel together as a team, and it just comes with what's the word I'm looking for?
Take your time. I can edit it.
All right. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word. No. How we? No.
I paused to say it again, man.
We play together with chemistry off the court and on the court. So that's basically the word I'm looking for.
Well, it definitely stood out tonight. Congratulations. Great job.
All right. Thank you.
That was Eric Matthews, our player of the game, and now Coach Chauncey Moore. These were his remarks.
Eric Hatfield.
There with the victorious Coach Chauncey Moore. You guys pretty much did like Mike Tyson, threw the uppercut, and they got secured a first-round knockout in that first quarter, going up by 15 points. And while Broadmoor traded blows the rest of the way, it didn't really seem to make a difference. Tell us about that.
Well, kids working hard right now. We're looking pretty good defensively. We're struggling offensive-wise, which is not a bad thing because it's still early in the season, but you still got to maintain your tempo and intensity of defense, and that's what we're trying to do. Get that energy going early, that way we can kind of maintain as the game goes along.
The casual observer might not think that 86 points in a high school basketball game is struggling offensively. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, when you're scoring, playing teams who are playing tough defensively, that iron against iron, you're going to have to find a way to break that other piece of metal. No, 86 points is not bad in a high school game, but as a coach over 20 years experience, at some point in time you're going to have to run a half-court offense.
Well, if only the Pelicans could consistently deliver that kind of offense. Eric Matthews was outstanding tonight. Yeah, a lot of players that were outstanding. Ben Percy, Terrence Johnson, but Matthews stood out a little bit more. Tell us about him. He's a new addition to your team.
Well, we got Eric transferred in last year. He kind of sat out and just kind of came in and worked this summer. He's the most physical player we have, and if he ever gets that motor going, which is what we need, who knows how good he can be. Everybody's only seeing bits and pieces of him. So if he ever gets it going, it makes us better.
Congratulations, Coach. Thanks a lot.
We now join The Louisiana All-American Sports Show from December 19th, 2015, already in progress.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time regarding that basketball is the area where the smaller schools can really level the playing field, and it's specifically HBCU schools. And the NCAA has been extremely punitive towards HBCU schools because they are aware of this. Right. So that's why you have them on, that's why you have a lot of HBCU schools on APR probation, not eligible to go to the tournament, because the NCAA is keenly aware that the balance of power can shift quickly.
In basketball. That's right.
In basketball.
Right. So
we need to continue to build the funnel with talented players that choose to go to HBCUs over other schools, and you're going to see an HBCU school in the Final Four within the next 5 to 8 years, I would imagine.
Wow, big statement right there. That would be a real accomplishment.
So in the Global Sports Classic, which picks up tomorrow, I'm gonna tell you, I think I like Southern to win over North Carolina Central. Actually, as far as the smaller schools, I think Eastern Illinois. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I watch Eastern Illinois game film, but I did a little research. This school actually looks pretty good. I like Southern to win in the first round. I like them to duke it out with Eastern Illinois as a litmus test, but I think EIU might have just a tick of an advantage. So I'm going to go Southern to win the first game, lose the second game to EIU. That's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
I'm going with Southern. I'm gonna go with Southern too. Like as my cousin would say, not Southern, but Southern.
Coach,
I've got Southern in both games.
Eric, you want to make a pick?
I'm going to go with Southern.
All right.
My people, they like Southern.
Southern all the way?
Follow, so.
All right. We'll see where that works out. I don't have any TV or radio information on that. Keep checking GoJagSports.com for updates on that. So as we get back into the LAC and get back past the airport, back past the chicken shack, and go across as we leave the bluff, we head on. Oh Lord!
What's wrong with the car?
I think I need to get a new starter here.
Gas or something.
On the other side of town, moving quickly, rolling swiftly in the hoopty ride.
Moving swiftly in the hoopty ride. We got the Louisiana State University Tigers. We talked about them last week, and Coach Perry Daniels mentioned this team has got a whole lot of talent, and talent is great. It's lovely. It's wonderful. But talent doesn't win basketball games. You got to execute. And we alluded to this last week. This team is just I don't know what's up with them. As they dropped the game last Sunday to Houston in overtime, and really they were lucky to get it to overtime as Keith Hornsby nailed a clutch three from about 22, 23 feet, and then they just, I guess, took their foot off the gas and felt satisfied to borrow Les Miles-ism that they won. They were unbeaten in regulation against Houston last Sunday, but that wasn't good enough. They did take it back. They beat up on Gardner-Webb. They have Oral Roberts today at 1 o'clock in the PMAC. That game will be on the SEC network, by the way, at 1 o'clock. I just don't know what to make of this team. This team has not been really showing the gauntlet. They played mostly a bunch of mid-majors, with the exception of North Carolina State. They lost that game too. And this is a team. Look, Ben Simmons, best player in the country. You can see the talent out there, but they're just not pulling it together. And this is, I talked about how the Jags are doing, and Coach Banks was doing everything to prepare this team for conference play. LSU, on the other hand, looks very ill-prepared for conference play, and they can't, this inconsistent, not getting up for the game, and just inconsistent on defense, and not being in the right place at the right time, and foolish turnovers, and just a poor mental game, in my opinion. That's not going to cut it. When January rolls around, they start playing their SEC opponents. They're going to get that Tiger's going to get defanged if they keep that up. So anyway, they got Oral Roberts. Obviously, expect them to win that game today, but I'm very, very concerned about what's this team going into conference play.
Most definitely, man. Of course, I'm gonna go with LSU to win. Of course, the outstanding freshman they got, Mr. Simmons, will be the number one pick for next year. They're already talking about these teams in the NBA are tanking to get this guy, the Lakers and the other teams, the 76ers and all that. So I'm gonna go with. But hey, the coaching is looking real, real spotty. down there. The spotlight is going to come on him. It's like another reincarnation of Dale Brown in a sense.
In a
Got
lot
all
of
the
ways.
talent and can't win, but I'm trying to reserve to go that weight. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are trying to give him a chance to see what he can to do. So I'm gonna give him a chance too. You know, and I'm gonna wait and see before I jump all over him. But I'm gonna wait and see. But I will pick LSU today.
Your thoughts, Eric Matthews?
I do like LSU. I am going to go with LSU, and I think they're going to pick it up. I think they'll have a good chance at doing something.
A young optimist.
Talk about your former teammate and his contribution down there at LSU, Brandon Sampson.
Brandon, he's been doing good, but I think he can do a lot better and pick it up and really help that team out and get them to the next level.
And what areas can he help them, do you think?
I think he can get to the goal more. His shot, Brandon's been a shooter, so, he has that. And just getting to the goal and actually hustling, making hustle plays.
Yeah.
Were you surprised to see as good as he's doing, or getting the playing time that he's getting? Are you guys surprised to see the little success that he is having?
Not really,
This
because not really. I think he's good enough to. I think he deserves everything he's getting right now, but it can be better. It can be better for him. It can be a lot better. I think he can do a lot better than he's doing. But
First year.
Yeah, it's his first year, so he has to get comfortable and get adjusted.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think that's the whole. It is amazing to me how success starved the Baton Rouge community is for LSU to be good at anything, to win a championship at anything. These are a bunch of kids that were playing high school ball last year, and you guys want them to be world beaters.
Yeah, we wanted to beat the Golden State. Yeah. Beat the Warriors. Come out.
This is an extremely talented basketball team, and unfortunately, they won't have Ben Simmons longer than this year. But that doesn't take away from how talented this team is and how well this team was recruited. And that's Johnny Jones' strength, recruiting.
Right.
Not X's and O's.
It absolutely is. I agree with that.
And exactly right. So on the front end, he's doing a real good job. So he's done a good job with recruiting, which was A, and then B, but now we need C, coaching. You got him down there. You did a great job. You the best. Now you got to just put the back end on it.
The similarities with Dale Brown really are. We talked about last week about how players are reflective of their coaches, and Johnny Jones was a Dale Brown protege. And it's like seeing the same thing now 30 years later with that strong recruiter.
I digress, though, man. Well, we pull it for him. Believe that.
And look, we have actually a very going on the national scene. We have a game on the hardwood that's actually getting underway very, very shortly, as we have really not too far from Perry's neck of the woods. We have a game between two ranked teams. You don't get a whole heck of a lot of those early in the season, but Villanova and Virginia are squaring up on the hardwood today. These are two teams that, you look at Virginia last year, a lot of folks had them penciled into the championship. Of course, I always say scoring points is an important part of basketball, and they came unglued with that. Villanova under Coach Jay Wright, it's almost like any day now, this team is going to rise up and step to another level. They're actually underway right now. The game's on ESPN2. But you have the same style. You have the Virginia Cavaliers that will try to lull you to sleep and really beat you up. And you have Villanova that they like to play a lot of ball down low and get the ball down low quickly. This game is being played at Virginia, and so I'm going to tip ever so slightly my expectation. I don't have the score right now in front of me, so I can make an unbiased opinion even though the game started. I expect Virginia to win that game.
Go on with Villanova.
Virginia.
It's simple, very simple. Villanova.
All right, so we got two Virginias, two Villanovas. And so that is going to wrap it up as we talk about the young men with their whole entire lives in front of them. And,
we'll get to see who's right and who's wrong. We made some predictions here, and we're going on the other side. We're going to talk about some grown men sports. But in the interim, we're going to look back to 7 days ago and see who was right and who was wrong as we go to this week's edition of I Told You So. Eric, this is what we were talking about. So I hope you're on point, because we're going to play this back for all your boys and your teammates and your friends next week.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Do expect a big showing from Ben Simmons no matter what. Our non-Power 5 conference schools, I'm not going to bet the farm on it, but I do expect LSU to win. We'll have a matchup between the number one team in the country, Michigan State, as they will host the Southeastern Conference's Florida Gators. This is Sam picking Tom Izzo and the Spartans in this game.
That's an easy pick. Tom to the Izzo. Tom to the Izzo.
Michigan State all day.
Noel Jackson
with music satisfaction. I think the Saints get wiped off from that. The Saints actually are 4-2 in games in which they score 25 points or more, but the problem is the defense as of late. Like I said, 38 points just didn't quite cut the mustard against the Giants. 51 barely got them by. I think the Saints get lit up like a Christmas tree, and we'll have their second consecutive losing season sealed up tomorrow in Tampa.
Man, I'm going to pick the Saints in this game.
You were wrong. You were wrong.
Saints.
To score the points on Cincinnati, so as long as the Red Rocket doesn't explode in midair, I think Cincinnati wins this ball game.
They're my Super Bowl team on the AFC side, so I'm going to Bengals.
I'm going with the Bengals as well.
Yeah, man. The red that was I think that was bad.
That wasn't too bad. I think I was about 50-50.
The Red Rocket did explode last week, as in his thumb exploded, and that is going to change. That's going to really create a change of the power vacuum in the AFC, the American Football Conference of the National Football League. Well, first of all, last week I got to say, you guys did say, you all told me so, that the Saints would pull it together against their division rivals, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they did. They looked pretty solid. They played solid on defense. I kind of didn't recognize this. I'm like, who are these guys, and what have you done with the Saints defense? They seem to put a little bit of a crimp in Jameis Winston's Rookie of the Year hopes. It's probably going to be a tight race between the team they lost to on Thursday night, Todd Gurley of the St. Louis Rams, and Amari Cooper of the Oakland Raiders. But look, the Saints, they get to be displayed before the eyes of the nation on Monday Night Football against another team that I think is similarly disappointed and underachieved in the Detroit Lions. So I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. It probably has no playoff implications, though the Saints are mathematically still alive for a playoff spot. I'll say this much. Detroit, in the world of dysfunction, I think Detroit has a slight bit more of dysfunction than the Saints, as Mrs. Ford, when a 90-year-old lady comes in and cleans house and you're the last one left standing, that certainly sends a message.
Right.
And they knocked off everybody in that organization. There's a lot of dysfunction there. The Saints' offense, to me, is as good as you could expect it to be. I think Drew Brees is fine, as we've seen the last couple of weeks. Putting up points isn't the problem. It's stopping the points. But I think Detroit has had a lot more issues. Calvin Johnson's been nicked up for most of the year when he's played. Same with Matt Stafford. In the Dome, I like the Saints on Monday Night Football.
Wow. Now, this is a game you would think I would pick the Saints, but this is the game I'm not going to pick the Saints. I'm going to pick Detroit. The Saints will implode at home, and they'll lose to Detroit Lions.
Oh, Coach, I'm sorry. Say it again. I had your mic down.
Saints.
Coach has the Saints tomorrow. So, look, we have
Eric?
my bad. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm gonna go with the home team, the Saints. The Saints.
Why you say?
Well, just because they're a home team, and I think they're gonna pull it together this year.
There's a lot more action going on the gridiron. Several games really up there. Guys, I'm gonna have to plead guilty to having a little bit of amnesia. I believe we had talked about, was it Carolina and the New York Giants? Was that one of the ones we had discussed?
Cam.
No, but we can go there. Yeah, we can go there.
Oh, Cam.
Well, I think we know who
Cam
Joke is
got me
picking.
dabbing, man.
The Carolina Panthers are off to a 13-0 start, and I'll tell you, it is because of one man, and that's Cam Newton. Yes, football is the ultimate team sport, no doubt about that. But you look at how they're playing, and the team's got a very good defense, a lot of players on defense, offensively, decent offensive line, but really no playmakers at the other skill positions other than quarterback. They have the New York Giants, and the Giants are making a ritual of this every year where they kind of walk out a little tentatively, and then all of a sudden, when the weather turns colder in December, Eli and company and them start pulling it together. But in this contest, even though they're playing this game at MetLife Stadium, there's only one guy I can go with, and that's Cam. Oh, Cam.
Yeah, I got to go with Cam, too. I want to ask you this here, Coach, before I'm going with Cam Newton. Would you go for the 16-0, Coach, or would you rest your players?
Well, the 16-0 comes to an end tomorrow. The Giants are going to pull off the upset.
Wow. But he's
Coach
picking the Giants.
is picking.
Who you like?
I'm picking Cam. You gotta go with Cam.
Got to go with Cam.
Exactly.
So Coach picked Carolina to
He
drop
picked Carolina.
one. And,
also wanted to ask Coach, before we go off air the last couple of minutes, they was talking about moving the St. Louis Rams back to Los Angeles, and the city came up with $150 million. I just wanted to ask Coach, by him being a native of St. Louis, his thoughts on St. Louis being moved to Los Angeles.
Thank you. And this was the purpose of today's song. We as a society have to stop supporting billionaires with corporate welfare. The statistics are clear that the community does not get a return on their investment. They get some, but not as a significant return on their investment when they invest in stadiums. These billionaires, these football owners, these basketball owners, they have enough money to build their own stadiums. The community should not subsidize it. There are other ways for communities to invest $150 million that would be more impactful in the community than a team.
And also now, Coach, I guess my memory got jogged there. The other game on our blotter, a game that has some quiet kind of implications. The Buffalo Bills are traveling to where Perry is the nation's capital to face the Washington Americans, and the Bills really kind of got slapped around a little bit, and with Philadelphia kind of putting it to them, and Chip Kelly kind of getting some satisfaction over Shady McCoy, that might have put a crimp in Buffalo's playoff drought, which goes back to 1999. The Americans have a chance to win the division. They're in the driver's seat, but I actually like Buffalo in this matchup. I think Washington's all smoke and mirrors.
I'm going with Washington.
I like Buffalo in this game as well, Eric. The Americans have had a great season. There's a lot of excitement. Eric Matthews, we refer to the team that plays in Washington as the Americans based on their mascot that's on their helmet. So we just figured we would call them by their appropriate name, the Americans. And they've had a great season. There's a lot of excitement regarding that team, but I think Buffalo does pull out the victory.
Eric?
All right. I have to go with the Americans, as you were saying.
I like that. So you're going with the Americans.
Catch on quick,
all right.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
we are 100% out of time, folks.
Get ready for Noel Jackson
with Music Satisfaction.
I want to thank you guys for listening to my family. Appreciate it.
Coach.
Eric, for coming in.
ADT, JNS, love you.
Have a good afternoon. I lost a lot of that audio, man. My face hit the pause button.
Oh, that's what it was.
And I got the last 20 minutes. Fortunately, we'll have an I Told You So.
Hail to the king and lots of love. May he protect us from the evil Hail to the king, Lords of life.